Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube that has been non-existent and has not been working because I am overthinking everything and I'm overthinking the topics and overthinking where I need to be and where I'm standing, and it's not what YouTube's about. So, and it's not what I'm about. Like, I hate watching other people's stuff where it's like scripted and pristine and it's not their normal routine. So I thought while I'm getting ready after a cycle, I just did a 12k cycle. I mean, clap hands for me, because if you have followed any of my content, you'll know that that is quite an achievement for me, considering I have 60k in like 12 weeks and I'm dreading it. So yeah, basically I wanted to kind of chat in this YouTube video about food noise, because I have just driven from Ireland to Scotland and I stopped off with a friend in Belfast, and we just kind of had a few conversations about kind of like food noise and how, like, if there's something in the press or the cupboard, you know, I have to cross both sides of the water there. Like, can you just leave it there and walk away, right? Now, for me, it depends what's in the press, right? So, like, if there was, I don't even know if it depends, because if there's like skinny whip bars, I could have all 5, like genuinely. Like, it cracks me up a little bit because when I see coaches that are like super slim and super lean kind of talk about how to like not have, just don't overeat, just buy the multi-pack. And I'm like, mate, I'm eating everything in that multi-pack. Like, I don't know if some of these coaches can relate. And I actually saw a video today on Instagram that it's like, if you've never been over 100 kilos and you've never had food noise and you've never eaten in secret and you don't know, if you've never kind of had that full feeling but continue to eat anyway, then I don't want to hear from you. And I was like, oh my God, that is so true. And I was like, I've been there. Like, I need to get this message out a bit more. So yeah, so basically in Qatar, when I originally lost like my 30 plus kilos, like I was the 89 kilos. So I was like borderline 90 kilos. And for 5'3", I like to admit 5'4", but I'm not 5'4". It is quite a lot. Like, I was overweight and I was uncomfortable. My movement was restricted, and like, I would be out of breath going upstairs, which is not the future that I wanted for myself. Like, as somebody who had been in coaching prior to teaching, like, I knew that this wasn't what I wanted to feel or what I wanted to do. So basically, I got in touch with the coach and we basically stripped everything right back. And like, it took a long time. It took over a year, but I didn't just lose weight to lose weight. Like, I gradually kind of looked at my relationship with food. I looked at what I was doing. I was looking at the mindset of it. And I think people see me now as a coach as, oh, she doesn't have that anymore. So not true. Like, the last year, I think, has been incredibly difficult for me. I will speak about it at some stage. Personally, it was really difficult. Myself and my partner have been through a lot. I would like to say maybe a lot more than a lot of recent new couples. And we got through it, but it took a lot. It took its toll. I went into a darker place than I would normally go into. And I ended up moving back to Ireland for 3 months, which is, again, if anyone knows me, you'll know that's not where I would ever want to go. I'm not like, Ireland is not in my future. So all of that aside, along with trying to run a business, trying to train for an ultramarathon, try to train for 2 half marathons as part of the super halves, being injured, and just generally just feeling like shit. And the food noise came back big time. Now, I have gained significant weight, I would call it, but I would say my mindset is completely different to that weight. Like, I see that weight now as I'm the strongest I've ever been. At the time that I was doing the Cardiff half marathon and the Valencia half marathon at the end of the year, like in 2025, I was the fastest I've ever been. I've had my half marathon PB, I had a 10k PB, a 5k PB. Like, it's serving a purpose, right? So it's not like, oh my God, I've gained loads of weight and like this is the worst thing that's ever happened. Like, I'm a coach and I'm so ashamed. And there is an element of shame and there is an element of embarrassment linked with that because I'm a coach. And I just think that's not spoken enough about. Like, we're humans as well. Like, we have our own battles just like everybody else. But yes, we do deal with them that little bit different because we coach how to train them different, how to deal with them differently. And I think that's where the shame and the pressure comes in, because I don't want to be somebody that people don't relate to. Like, I've been there. Like, I have been overweight. I have been the smallest that I have ever been as well. And neither brought happiness. Right? So it's like trying to find that middle ground that actually is happiness, I think, is so difficult. But like right now, I'm back in Scotland, thankfully, back with my partner. Everything's going great. And I've just been out on a bike ride. I've got a cycle coming up in 12 weeks that is 60k. And literally when I say it is giving me the fear of God, like I'm terrified for it. Like yes, I used to cycle really long distances, like 100 plus K, but I've not done that in 16 years. And I'm still training for a half marathon at the end of March. So I think 6 weeks till the half marathon. So there's a lot going on training wise for me, but I also need to lose some weight. So I'm now like losing some body fat while still training hard. And I think just being in a better place mentally myself has completely flipped the food noise. So yes, I am bringing this back to food noise. This was all about food noise originally. But I think that with food noise, I say to some of my clients, like it's a constant battle. And I think sometimes it's a constant battle because it's just less. Like I always kind of describe it like a dimmer switch, you know, a dimmer switch and a light. Like sometimes it's less, but sometimes somebody comes into the room and turns at full blast. And like that is genuinely me. And I think instead of adding shame to that emotion, it's almost like sitting with it and assessing it and seeing how you can come out of it. And I always say to my ladies, like having that pause between action and reaction and even responding with yourself is massive and has been one of the biggest changes that I have made to my life. Like we'll say, for example, today we pulled up outside a bakery, like a croissant, cinnamon bun kind of place. And I didn't eat. I didn't like search for something that was gluten-free, dairy-free, because I was like, no, like I'm in a good place. Like Marina, you want to respect your body. You want to fuel your body. Like you want to be a leaner, more physically healthier person than what you are currently. Like I know I've been there. Now, when I say I need to lose weight, I know my sweet spot. And thankfully I know my sweet spot because I've been the lightest, smallest that I've ever been. But I've also been like nearly 90 kilos. So I know my sweet spot. And for me, that sits around 68 to 70 kilos, which is about 10 kilos. So 8 to 10 kilos in the next few months is where I'm aiming for. Now, I am not hitting this. Like I have to lose 8 to 10 kilos in the next 4 weeks. Like it's not possible. It's not what I'm doing. I am genuinely doing this in a sustainable way that marries with my life. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, is that they go hell for leather, like this has to happen now. And like I've messaged my coach yesterday and I was like, I'm literally the worst client you've ever had, like I get it. But then I also said, but actually I'm walking into a gym now, and I mean again as a coach, like I would walk into a gym and like just get in, get out, like get in, get it done, get out. Whereas now I'm walking in like shoulders back, chest out, like fucking get out of my way, right? And I think that's the difference, is that I'm now walking in with confidence. And I've had I've had multiple coaches, and I've never had a coach look at my lifts, which I don't know has been the factor of me getting injured. And I don't know, they've just never been coaches that have looked at my lifts, which is just clearly just not what they do. Whereas this coach is something that she does, and she has looked at all my lifts and she's like, okay, you need to make this little tweak. And she's like, they're really not as bad as you think they are. But I think because I've spent so many years never having somebody look at my lifts properly, I've always just assumed that's what's causing my injury. And again, I even had Jamie in HQ in Ballahadreen. If anyone's in HQ in Ballahadreen, Counter is common, like get into Jamie, he's amazing. We used to also be a power lifter, and he had a look in person at my lifts. And again, he was like, Marina, like I can't make any like changes on this. Like your lifts are solid. There was 1 or 2 tweaks he made on my bench press, which I was so grateful for, because that is like the one that I've really struggled to progress the most. And I'm now walking into the gym, like shoulders back, chest out, like that difference in me in the last 3 months, and being able to maintain kind of where I was whilst being in Ireland and being all over the place in Ireland, emotionally, physically as well, because I like to spend as much time with my nephews and my sister as possible. So trying to get everything done, but trying to also put me in the middle was a challenge. Whereas now I'm back in Scotland, I have nothing and nobody pulling out of me. Like I literally get to put me at 100% first. And I know that a lot of people don't get that choice, but it is possible to have both. And it is possible like to put your goals first. Like I had a client ask me last night, like, oh my God, what if you were still teaching? Like, how would you still, like, you wouldn't be able to still do these cycles and do these runs and half marathons? And it's like, yeah, I would. Like when I was in Qatar, I was up at like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. doing my runs. On a Friday, I remember Friday was our day off. It was like our Saturday because of the religious calendar. And I remember getting up at like 5 a.m., 4:30 a.m. on a Friday morning because it was so hot past sunrise. I had to get my run in the desert done before sunrise. So I was up at like 4:30 on a weekend day. So it's not like this wouldn't be possible doing what I'm doing now, or if I was in a quote unquote normal job, like a 9 to 5, it absolutely would. You just have to commit and you just have to show up. And I've been there. I know I can do this. So this is basically my YouTube just to say, food noise is difficult. It is a challenge and so many people have it. And I think it's just not spoken openly enough about. I think it's really important to not put yourself in a box and compare yourself to others, because I was literally doing that as a coach. I was literally looking at other coaches and being like, but they don't have food noise. Like they don't struggle the way I struggle. And yet this is exactly what I coach. I literally help women with food noise all the time. I remove that shame. And we spoke in my group recently about food values. My cat is literally about to come up. We spoke recently about values in my group. And I spoke about how we can have values and we're great at doing them externally, like compassion, integrity, honesty, openness. But yet when we try to do it internally, it's a completely different ball game. And this just opened a book for me because I was like, this is me. This is me literally doing my values externally, but not internally. And somebody said to me like, oh, you need to practice what you preach. And I just thought, again, that's just adding shame. Like we need to remove shame from anything to do with weight, anything to do with habits, because you don't know what's going on behind somebody's doors. You don't know what's going on behind their eyes, like in their head, how much they're struggling. And just remember, food noise is like a dimmer switch, and that's exactly what I coach people to. And how to dim it down. Yes, there's going to be days it's going to be full blast, but it's how to dim it down. And honestly, implementing a pause and looking at the response and the action before the reaction is hands down the biggest thing that I've ever done. So yeah, give me a follow at Coach Marina Hardiman on Instagram. It is where I give a lot of my short form content. I am going to be back here weekly, if not every 2 days or every 2 times a week, doing my YouTube videos completely unedited. This is me, it's the raw Marina. It is going to be my thoughts, my struggles, my fat loss journey over the next few months, along with my cycling journey that is scaring the life out of me, but also my running journey for the half marathon and just life in general, lads. So yeah, if you're interested, make sure you hit subscribe on my YouTube channel and give me a follow on Instagram at Coach Marina Hardiman, and we'll talk in the next video.